Welcome back. Today's article is titled No Time for Putin. It asks us to think, when leaders set deadlines in international conflicts, do those deadlines create real change, or just more headlines? These questions make us pause. They remind us how fragile peace efforts can be. Let's start with a similar case. In past talks with North Korea, strong deadlines were often set, but later ignored. This created frustration and raised doubts about whether threats alone can change behavior. The Iran nuclear deal showed how fragile agreements can collapse under political pressure. Deadlines and threats without trust often lead to repeated cycles of tension. During the US-China trade war, tariffs were announced as deadlines, then delayed or reversed. This uncertainty made businesses hesitate and weakened confidence in negotiations. In Brexit talks, last-minute deadlines were used to pressure both sides. While it sometimes forced progress, it also created mistrust and political drama. Do strict deadlines really push leaders toward peace, or do they only add pressure without results? Students should consider how a ticking clock can both motivate and destabilize talks. Leaders often use dramatic deadlines to appear strong before their citizens, but we should ask, are these actions aimed at solving the conflict, or just shaping a public image? Allies like Ukraine welcome firm deadlines, yet they also fear promises that may not be carried out. Unmet expectations can weaken trust at the very moment it's needed most. Threats of massive tariffs may scare some buyers away, but they can also disrupt global markets. Students should think about whether economic pressure truly leads to peace or just new instability. When leaders often make threats without following through, credibility erodes. Once trust is gone, even real warnings lose their power. Deadlines and threats may create headlines, but do they create lasting impact? We should weigh whether diplomacy needs more consistent actions rather than dramatic countdowns. Pressure can be useful, but peace requires patience, trust, and real follow-through. The challenge is finding a balance between urgency and credibility. Let's check out 2 expressions from the article that describe expectations and the importance of action. Let's look at 2 key expressions. Number 1 is hope for. This phrase is used when you want or expect a good result. Let's take a look at the examples. In the first example, this shows expectation for favorable conditions. In the second example, this highlights a desire for peace. Next is carry out. This phrase is used to describe completing an action or plan. Let's take a look at the examples. In the first example, this shows task completion. In the second example, this highlights official action in the future. Now let's take a look at 3 words and idioms that explain shifts, refusals, and contrasts in politics. The phrase take a turn. This phrase is used to describe situations that suddenly change course. In the example, this shows how one event changed the focus. Refusal. This word is used when someone rejects a request, offer, or demand. In the example, this highlights unexpected resistance. On the other hand, this phrase is used to compare 2 different perspectives. In the example, this shows balancing pros and cons. Great job today. So what's the lesson? Deadlines can sound tough, but without consistent action, they may only create noise. Let's remember, real diplomacy requires both urgency and credibility. See you in our review session.